Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's announcement. We're going to be kicking things off with an exciting demonstration from the team here at the Stunt Garage.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for that. What an exciting way to begin an announcement. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Tanya, Alberta's Minister of Arts, Culture, and Status of Women. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered today on the traditional territory of the signatories to Treaty 6. And I would also like to acknowledge the Métis people of Alberta who have a deep history and connection with this land. A big thank you to our host, Martin Kochinko, professional stunt performer and co-owner of the Stunt Garage, our host today, for welcoming us. This is such an incredible space, and your work with professional stunt performers and filmmakers is truly incredible. I also want to extend my congratulations on recently winning an Emmy for your amazing stunt work for Shogun. Martin actually let me pick it up and hold it so I can say I've held an Emmy in my hands. This is a huge achievement, so thank you for cultivating your passion, inspiring the next generation, and showcasing such remarkable talent right here in Edmonton. I'd also like to recognize Luke Azevedo. Luke, your leadership has been instrumental in shaping Calgary's reputation as a powerhouse production center for the creative economy, and we are excited to see the vision that you will now bring to the sector as the new CEO of Edmonton Screen. It's especially fitting that we're making this announcement today on National Canadian Film Day to shine a spotlight on how our government is supporting Alberta's cultural industries through meaningful investment in the Alberta Media Fund. Our film, television, music, and publishing sectors aren't just about entertainment, they're about storytelling. They showcase our landscapes, culture, voices, and unique stories to share with the world. And most importantly, they help build a vibrant and thriving province for all Albertans. Alberta's cultural industries are not only vibrant, they are vital to our identity, our communities, and our economy. That's why we are proud to announce that in Budget 2025, our government is investing $8 million to support Alberta's cultural industries. Through this continued investment in the Alberta Media Fund, our government is fueling economic growth, creating jobs, and continuing to position Alberta as a major competitor and magnet for creative and business talent. We're making sure that Alberta remains a premier choice for film and television production. Minister Matt Jones will speak to the Film and Television Tax Credit Program in just a moment, but our growing film and television industry doesn't just support big Hollywood hits, we foster proud, homegrown scene as well. These local productions have a huge impact across many industries in our province, from catering to construction, accommodations, local rentals, transportation, and more. These projects create a stronger economy with more jobs for Albertans in every corner of our province. Alberta is also home to a number of new and well-established state-of-the-art production facilities for film and television, places where the magic comes to life thanks to the talent and dedication of hardworking Albertans. By continuing to invest in the Alberta Media Fund, we retain top talent and give them a reason to thrive within our province, resulting in a pool of experienced, world-class professionals that directors and producers actively seek out again and again. Whenever Alberta shows up on the screen, its beauty and diversity is a showstopper. Our landscapes, our cities, our communities, they always are the star of the show. I'd like to thank you again for joining us today as we make this important announcement. Cultural industry projects strengthen Alberta's thriving arts sector by uplifting our communities, creating a multitude of local jobs, and bringing entertainment to millions. Investing in the Arts and Media Fund is putting Alberta in the spotlight, right on center stage, and we will continue to shine. I look forward to seeing the exciting opportunities that this funding will unlock and the stories that will be told. And now I would like to welcome my colleague, Matt Jones, Minister of Jobs, Economy and Trade, to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Furr, and thank you to the Stunt Garage for setting the stage today. The second demonstration where the performer was being thrown to the ground, I call that a week in politics. Today is National Canadian Film Day, the perfect time to shine a spotlight on Alberta's booming film and television industry. This isn't just about what's on screen, it's about real jobs, real investment, and real impact for Albertans. Alberta's film and television scene is playing a lead role in diversifying and growing our economy, and thanks to the folks in this room, it's no background story. Alberta's story is taking the center stage today and into the future. With jaw-dropping landscapes, low taxes, and a talented crew base, Alberta is ready for its close-up. That's why Alberta's government is making major investments into the future of film and television across Alberta. Through Budget 2025, we are proud to invest $235 million over the next 3 years in our Film and Television Tax Credit Program, which offers tax incentives to productions which set up shop in our beautiful province. Looking out into this room and at the growing film and television industry, I can see our investment is paying off. Nearly 200 productions have been approved so far through the Film and Television Tax Credit, generating approximately $1.5 billion in Alberta spend and 14,000 plus good-paying jobs. But that's just the beginning. The film and television is supporting an entire industry behind the scenes, from skilled trades to construction workers, hospitality, and beyond. The positive impacts for our economy are endless. And we're making sure rural Alberta gets its screen time too. Nearly 1/3 of that $1.5 billion in spend has occurred in rural communities and smaller towns. Now, we've all seen Alberta on the big screen and small screen in productions like The Last of Us, Fraggle Rock, Fargo Season 5, and Heartland, which is now rolling into Season 17. But we're not just a location destination. We're a strong, reliable, and profitable partner. And that's why they keep coming back. Alberta is earning its place on the global stage. The word is out, and the industry is coming. We've got the talent, as you can see in this room, the tools and the tenacity to become Canada's film capital. With each new production, we're not only telling Alberta's story, we're building futures. Young Albertans can now dream of careers in this industry without having to leave their province. That's the kind of homegrown impact we're proud to support as a government. Based on industry feedback, we rolled out new improvements to the Film and Television Tax Credit last year. There's now a longer application window. There are clearer rules and less red tape. The government is now funding more genres, including game shows and reality TV. And we are providing additional incentives to film in Alberta's diverse and rural regions. It's all about making Alberta the best North American destination for productions. Creative careers are valued in Alberta, and that's why we're reinvesting year after year in the Film and Television Tax Credit. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing what the future holds for your growing industry. And I'd like to now introduce Luke Azevedo, CEO of the Edmonton Screen, to say a few words.
Good afternoon. As the incoming CEO of Edmonton Screen, I'm incredibly excited about the future of the creative economy, both in our city and across Alberta. Alberta's creative sector not only is a cornerstone of our province's cultural landscape, it's a critical driver of economic development. There is a remarkable pool of talent here in Alberta, and I'm thrilled with the province continuing to support the growing cultural industries through programs like the Alberta Media Fund, the Alberta Made Production Grant, and the Film and Television Tax Credit. These programs do more than fund projects. They invest in people, our people, Alberta people, and the benefits go beyond providing local opportunities for Alberta creatives. Investing in these industries is investing in Alberta's future prosperity, from catering and construction to accommodations and transportation. The impact of these investments ripple across sectors. They contribute to tourism, attract talent, and enhance our province's reputation as a dynamic and innovative place to live and work. They also incentivize studios, streamers, and production companies to choose Alberta, bringing significant investment and creating high-paying jobs for thousands of Albertans. I see tremendous potential for growth and collaboration within the creative economy across the province. Having strong relationships with our government partners is essential to our success and future growth. I look forward to collaborating with both Minister Furr and Minister Jones as we work to grow the creative economy in Alberta. Thank you once again, ministers, for your support of the Alberta Media Fund and the Film and Television Tax Credit, and your dedication to the creative community. Thank you. I'd like to welcome up Martin Kuchenko.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Martin Kuchenko. I am a homegrown Edmonton boy. I wouldn't be here without my community. And as you can see behind me, and hopefully as you can see around Edmonton, around Alberta, I wouldn't be here without the communities that have raised me. Phoenix Gymnastics, New Roots Breaking, the martial arts scene, and of course the film community. I'm very, very proud to see Alberta continuing to build the momentum that they have with the film and television industry. There is a renewed energy, and there are programs here that are geared to developing new talent and new crew. With initiatives and ongoing discussions like these, I really do hope that Alberta, that we stay well positioned to remain competitive on the global stage while simultaneously developing our own local talent. Thank you for the support, and I'm excited for these discussions going forward. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our formal portion of the announcement today. And now we'll move to the media question and answer portion. It will be one question and one follow-up, and I'd just like to ask that media you identify yourself and your outlet and let us know to whom you're directing your question, please. We'll start in the room.
Hi, I'm Morgan with Global Edmonton. I think this one will be for both of the ministers, but if anyone else wants to weigh in, totally fine. There's so much that happens in the States with film and TV, and obviously our relationship with the United States is complicated right now, tariffs. I'm just wondering how you think that current situation with the U.S. administration could impact some of the work that you're trying to do here with drawing more talent to Alberta.
Yeah, thanks very, very much for that question. And yeah, Minister Jones can speak about that as well. As it relates to tariffs, I know my department and I will continue to promote the beauty and economic benefits of filming in Alberta to filmmakers from around the world. Tariffs are never a good thing, but I think Alberta has developed such an incredible proven reputation for being the place to film from everything. I mean, the obvious, our breathtaking, stunning landscapes, our unbelievably talented, hardworking cast and crew, and let's face it, film and TV, like anything else, is a business. Bottom line and profit matter. And when we have low taxes and we have incentives like we can offer, and cast and crew who need to live somewhere or rent places, certainly more affordable here than in Vancouver or Toronto, plus we're closer to LA. So, we're concerned about the tariffs, but I'm also confident that our film and television industry is going to continue to thrive. I'll pass it over to Minister Jones.
Thank you, Minister. I would say that Alberta remains a competitive destination for film and television, even despite the uncertainty caused by the unfortunate trade and tariff situation with the United States, a situation that I do believe will be resolved over time. But again, we are continuing to win investment. Just a few weeks ago or a month ago, we landed a large aviation investment with Lufthansa Technik in Calgary. And I can assure you, as the Minister of Jobs and Economy and Trade, there are more investments that will be announced in the coming weeks and months that we're also looking at U.S. jurisdictions. So I'm confident that this industry and other industries will remain competitive in Alberta, and we've made deliberate policy choices to ensure that we're competitive despite actions from the United States.
Martin, can I ask you a question? I know that we often talked about how you felt like you had to leave Edmonton to go chase your dreams and go other places, and I know that you've been able to kind of have the best of both worlds in this current iteration, but do you foresee, like with this investment or further investment, a world where Edmonton can be the place where your hopes and dreams come true in the film and TV world, or is that just like we're still too small to make that real?
No, absolutely. I do hope with this investment, and again, ongoing investment as well, and these discussions to be able to, again, stay competitive in the global stage while still simultaneously creating our home local talent. I do see Edmonton a place that we can be, for this to happen. I can see it around this country already. Winnipeg has it figured out. There's no reason why we can't. So we, like Quebec, all these other provinces, we can do it as well here. Like, as you can see, like we have so many talented crew and talent here, performers. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, thank you.
Sorry, what does Winnipeg have figured out that we don't?
They have a lot of film out there. Yeah, it's above my pay grade. But I travel again. Like, I travel across Canada quite often, and I'm actually now starting to be able to stay in the province, in the city here, to be able to work, and I love that. It's great not having to go from a hotel to set. I can go straight home to my bed, so it's nice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Leo from City News. Probably for both ministers. Talk about the tariff again, of course, with the film industry, but the Alberta Media Fund also covers other grant as well, including magazines, musics, and books. Is this also one way to support Canadian/Albertan publishers amidst what's going on with the tariff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're proud to maintain funding in this program for cultural industries. Of course, film and television is exciting, but we have amazing book publishers and magazine publishers and the music industry as well. And they all build culture and identity and tell stories, but they also create jobs and promote tourism and help the economy. So absolutely, this is a way to support all those cultural industries and continue to see them flourish and adapt.
Another question for Martin here. I know, I believe TSG also contributed with the Last of Us performance. Do you think that this type of fundings or this investment will entice more foreign productions to Alberta?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We helped out by bringing out performers and helping to do some of the, what we call pre-visuals out here. So some of the rehearsals for the stunts, helping out. Yes, I do. I strongly agree that this kind of investment would help. The more awareness that we have here in the city, traditionally we haven't been known as like a film hub, but having more of us, like I came from a competitive background in dance and in martial arts, and knowing that there is another route to take with performing instead of just teaching, instead of just being competitive, really opened my eyes. And as you can see, like there's a lot of people here that are hoping to do the same thing.
Are you hoping that the Alberta or Edmonton will be a most likely an LA of Canada?
An LA? I think we do a lot of things better than LA, if I'm being honest with you. But I do believe that we can have a strong base here. We have great restaurants, great road system compared to most other cities, if I'm being honest with you. And yeah, we're getting infrastructure here, and of course we can always have more, but we have a strong base to start off with. So
okay, we'll take the next question. Looks like we have no more questions in the room. One more. Okay, go ahead.
Connor Hogg, CTV News. This is for the Minister Fur. I'm just wondering, what further steps do you see need to be taken in order to make Edmonton, Calgary, and Alberta in general a truly competitive area for this type of production?
Yeah, I think so much of what we're already doing is already building us in that direction. I know, I think it was last year when I went to LA and met with many film and television executives and producers, and I mean, I should let Minister Jones speak to this, but a direct quote from them was things like the film and television tax credit put us in the big leagues, right? That's incredibly important, but so too is project and grants that we have within, smaller grants and projects we have within my ministry, because that often builds that talent that's going to continue to feed the talent pool. So I think another thing that we can do, and I know Minister Jones does this, and I do as well, is continuing to make those trips and sell Alberta and sell our film and television industry to LA and the States, but really to the world, and make sure that they all know what we have to offer. I see it just continuing to grow, and we'll continue to work hard at it.
Sweet. I'm just wondering, looking and seeing all these talented artists behind you, is that extra motivation to, see more of this happen?
Yeah, you bet. I mean, if you stick around, Martin's going to strap me up at the end of this. No, I'm just kidding. He's not. He's not. There might be a WCB claim there, but it's so exciting to see this in Edmonton, right? And everything Martin offers in this gym, all the different types of arts and talents and athletics. And as Martin talked about, we want these people to be able to stay in Edmonton, to live in Alberta, to live in Calgary, to live and make a living doing this while being able to continue to call Alberta home. So this is exciting, and I often say my announcements have the best backdrops. So.
All right, operator, can you please put through our first caller on the line?
Lisa Johnson from the Canadian Press. Your line is now open. Please ask your question.
Hi, thanks so much for taking my question. I apologize to the film and television folks who are there. It's quite a bit off topic, but it's for Minister Jones. I'm wondering if you can clarify on March 5th, it was announced that as part of Alberta's non-tariff retaliatory measures, it was the province is altering its procurement practices to ensure government, agencies, school boards, crown corporations, municipalities purchase their goods and services from Alberta companies, Canadian companies, or countries with which Canada has a free trade agreement that is being honored. Can you confirm whether or not that policy has been rescinded? Because there's been an email circulating on social media that appears to be an email from one of your assistant deputy ministers referring to a local procurement initiative that is no longer going ahead. Could you please clarify that?
Thank you for the question. The procurement initiative in question is still under consideration. As you well know, this is a fluid and dynamic situation, and Alberta has been pursuing a primarily diplomatic approach. We are not seeking to escalate the situation with the United States, and we have seen reprieve and delays from the United States. We've also seen Canada now pausing some of the reciprocal tariffs to support the auto sector. So it is a tool that we are considering as the situation continues to evolve. At the same time, we are promoting Buy Alberta, Buy Canadian. We are restricting imports of American alcohol, and we will take other measures to support a Team Canada approach.
All right.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, I wonder why this wasn't announced, that this policy is no longer going forward since it was announced in the first place. But I have another question as well, because Doug Ford in Ontario has tabled legislation that would make Ontario the first government in Canada to unconditionally remove all current exceptions to interprovincial trade. He signed agreements with the premiers of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick that support removing all those barriers between those provinces. Is Alberta planning to sign on to any agreement with Ontario or match that legislation?
Another great question. So Alberta is already a leader in internal trade. Back in 2019, we removed 80% of our exceptions under the Canadian Free Trade Agreement. We only added 2 additional to regulate cannabis, essentially. Our remaining exceptions are not barriers to internal trade. They basically allow us to regulate things like liquor and gaming, hazardous waste. We're taking a proactive and unilateral approach to removing tangible barriers to internal trade, and we're not even requiring other jurisdictions to reciprocate. In other words, we're just going to start knocking down the remaining barriers to internal trade. We're going to be launching a portal next week where industry, businesses, other provinces can provide feedback on where those barriers are to internal trade, the movement of goods, services, and even people. And then we are going to work as across government of Alberta and in collaboration with provinces and territories and the feds to remove those barriers. So I think this legislation is a great step for other jurisdictions that have not already substantially removed all barriers under the CFTA to internal trade. But Alberta is the leader in Canada in this area, and we will continue to proactively lead whether or not other provinces do so. And again, credit to the other provinces and territories and Canada who are now following suit and looking at their own exceptions.
Thank you, Lisa, for your questions, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. That'll conclude our announcement, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.